Hello everyone, my name is Natia Kasai and thank you so much for tuning into my channel based on a true story. Really appreciate it. Today we are reviewing the film Rocketman. Rocketman! You gotta listen to both ears. Listened to a lot of Elton John lately. Super excited for this film, super excited to review it. So let's get started. This film is written by Lee Hall, who also wrote the film, Billy Elliot, Victoria and Abdul, and Warhorse. Remember that film? Yeah, you wrote that film. It was directed by Dexter Fletcher, who also directed Eddie the Eagle. Anyone remember that film? Came out a while back ago. And he also took over directing Bohemian Rhapsody after they fired Bryan Singer. So, bye-bye him. Here comes Dexter Fletcher. He's also an actor, so that helps. Our running time for this film is 2 hours and 1 minute. It, to be honest, kind of trailed off at the end. Like, it was very much like, we are continuing this because we can, but I was there for it because Elton, you can't give me enough Elton. I could have sat there for 4 hours hearing that man sing. So there it is. Our wonderful cast, beautiful cast is Taron Egerton, Jamie Bell, Richard Madden, and Bryce Dallas Howard, who has one of the coolest names. It's like a fun Western. Bryce Dallas Howard. It's a great name. The film is about, according to our wonderful IMDb, a musical fantasy about the fantastical human story of Elton John's breakthrough years. My overall score for this film, you guys, is 3 pianos out of 4. And a little kind of precursor before I get into reviewing this film. This film is a musical. The trailers did a very good job of making it seem it wasn't. So just as a courtesy to you guys who go into watching the film, it is a musical. They do sing about their feelings. So know that. Also know, if you don't like Elton John, you probably shouldn't see this movie. There is a lot of singing. There's a lot of singing and there's a lot of him. So skip out if you don't like musicals, and skip out if you don't like Elton John. I love both. I love musicals so much, and I love Elton John. Put them together and you get Rocketman. The reason why I love this film is because it's a fun, magical ride where you learn about Elton John as a human being. Really delve into his family life and how his family and lack thereof made him who he is today, the man he is today. You get to see the music, you get to hear the music, but quite honestly, I think we only see Elton in the studio twice. So for a whole film to be about a rock and roll singer and we see him twice is kind of shocking. It really delves, the movie is not so much about the creation of the art, the creation of the music, it's more about the creation of a man and therefore how he made his music, if that makes sense. So first it's just about him as a person, as a man, his upbringing, and then the music is secondary, which I thought was an interesting take on it. I kind of really enjoyed it because personally I think the human condition and how people become who they are is way more important than the art themselves. But they do give the fans what they want, and we get to hear a lot of Elton John songs, which I love. Another thing that I loved about this film is that it is rated R. It is not a Disney-fied, cutesy version of a rock and roll singer. Bohemian Rhapsody, yes. It is, you do see the sex, you do see the drugs, you do see the rock and roll. And quite honestly, that is what I loved about it. It's like, this man lived a crazy, insane life, so I want to see a crazy, insane life on screen, and they portrayed that. This film was basically this is what I said, this film was a weird and fun and quirky and strange and wonderful and fantastical and extravagant film, just like Elton John. It was a complete representation of the man himself. For honest performances, I gave this 3 pianos. Taron Egerton and Jamie Bell gave some of the strongest performances I've seen in a very, very long time between 2 actors in a scene. At one point, Taron's character basically has to unveil that he is a gay man, and he unveils this to his friend Jamie Bell, and the actor's name is Jamie Bell, and the exchange that these two actors give in the scene is so beautiful and such a great representation of two completely giving actors, and it was just in their eyes. Like, it was the smallest choices that these actors made that you're watching, you're like, woof, they said so much with like no dialogue, you know, and it's impressive. It was beautiful to watch, so congrats on those two actors' parts, and congrats on the director's part for getting them there. Again, Taron Egerton, I might be pronouncing his name wrong. He blew me away. Like, his performance was really, really just fun and amazing to watch. And he definitely morphed into Elton John, and it was great to watch him. For diversity in front of and behind the camera, I'm sadly going to give this one piano. It was white guys, a lot of white guys, in front of and behind the camera, so that was kind of sad for me. Claudia Schiffer was one of the executive producers. I did want to mention her because she was one of the only females that like head of departments, you know, behind the camera. And I will say though that I will give the film some credit because it was showcasing a life of a gay man and also included a lot of gay characters and queer characters in the film, so thumbs up for that. The overall score for this film again is 3 pianos. Go see it if you love musicals, if you love Elton John and you want to have a fun ride. One of my favorite parts of the film was getting to know Elton's life, and that included the role that his grandmother played in his life. And it's not too often we get to see the people behind the scenes who make the artist shine. Without his grandmother's love and support, we would not have an Elton John today. And I think it's super important to take the time to thank those people who are behind the scenes, their names are not in lights, but whether it be an elementary school teacher or a grandfather or a pastor, like the people that influence us in a positive way to make artists who they are today. Because without the love and support of those people, we would not have Elton John, which would be a very, very sad world. Even thinking about it makes me a little sad. You can tell everybody. Don't make me get the mic. Even die simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. Okay, we're done. Okay, you guys, that is the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And just like the wonderful Elton John, remember your story is important. So go out into the world and tell it. Thanks so much. Bye.